they possibly take down this top team?
I think it's going to depend on Reject maybe getting complacent, but we have not seen any such thing happening. RVL have, they've played very well in a lot of their series, but unfortunately, they have either gone down 0-2 or 2-1 in their matchups, and they haven't been able to get a whole lot of map wins here and there, so we need to see what that dominance that they showed us in that matchup that they won against N1 Hex, and we also need to see Reject have an off day. You know, they're sitting at the top of the pecking order. The worst I think that they can hope for at this point in time is a tie with XO for the #1 seed, so, you know, like, does it really matter to them where they end up? I think they want the top just for bragging rights, but if they don't want it bad enough and Rival are able to somehow squeak out something, there's not no hope, but there's not a lot of it.
Yeah, there's going to be a difficult time ahead of them, to say the least. But, you know, when you've got nothing to lose, that's when the craziest things can happen, right, CV? So we'll see what they are going to be able to deliver. As right now, RVL have given them a single-sided rocket. So that's going to be troublesome, I think. Yep. And I like the response with the Star-Lord there. You know, they're making sure that they won't be able to take advantage of some of the things that you can play in combination there. And they do have Mantis for themselves, which is good. But I guess it's just, again, that give and take situation in the draft here.
I do kind of feel like Reject, though. They're pulling no punches, trying to go for that one-sided rocket. Because we talked a little bit during the explanation earlier about just how strong that rocket can be, and, you know, when paired up with things like the Star-Lord, but you don't even really need the Galactic Legend to pair with the CYA. It already just does so much damage that if you play around it and you coordinate around it, you can just burst anybody down, and it's going to be a very strong tool in Reject's arsenal, and one that RVL are going to be wishing that they had. But a one-sided Mantis isn't a bad way forward either. It does open a lot of doors when it comes to triple strategist compositions. Loki will not be amongst them, but Luna Snow and White Fox are both available, and I do think that would be a pretty solid lineup. You do also have access to the Ultron as well, so you can go for a more front-loaded damage kind of situation. However you want to play it, there is a strategy in play for Rival Esports. They're going to have to execute it, though, against some of the best in the world in order to do it.
Yeah, going to have to give it their absolute best shot, you know, try and see if they can beat that David and take down a Goliath here. They will be looking to lock things down on to Burning T'Challa. And we get to take a look at some of the beautiful landscapes all over again before we kick the battle off here. But I'm already feeling confident in what both teams kind of bring into the fold on this one. I do like to see, you know, a little bit of a change up from Reject here. We could play into something like Penny Parker of all things. You definitely keep the mission area on lockdown for themselves there and really shut down some of the mobility that can come with something like Spocky there on the Black Cat or something else. But nope, they're going to be playing into the Devil Dino. No Penny, no worries. In fact, nope, it's going to be Captain America this time. So they're playing, guess, the hero. But now we're going to zero in on this matchup, CV. Let's get ready to go.
It's just a full-fledged dive composition that's going to be coming out from Reject. And I do think Rival Esports with this triple strategist lineup can absorb a dive pretty well, but without the Loki, it's going to be a lot harder. I think that's why they tried to go for that particular target ban, but we'll see as Rival Esports looks to try and wrap around here. But Finale getting in there, right into that back line, taking down Lick, and Sunghoon is good for a bit of a cleanup onto HK Mario. And I mean, it doesn't really get much quicker than that. Gargoyle, good entry on that one. Very little splash. I'll give that one a 10 out of 10, and I will give Reject the first capture.
Yeah, nice early secure coming their way there. And shut down some of the terrain as well, just to nullify some of the lines of sight. We'll be scouting ahead as well. I like how Gargoyles keeping control of the corners there. Their teammates able to float upon the others, and they will dive straight in, trying to shut down the strategists accordingly. Proxies goes down. They look to follow suit with even further full focus on to the Ultron there. Zep does escape, though, not before shutting down Yaki. So a nice give and take situation here. They almost catch Piggy, and RVL actually having a bit of a resurgence onto this. Finale, though, is ready to try and snap things back into proportion, and they will succeed. Lick goes down.
Yep, and without Lick there, I mean, you're going to be lacking in healing, and Sunghoon taking down Netra as well, and this is kind of what dive compositions do, right? If there's even a little bit of discord between yourself and your backline is just going to get picked apart like a rotisserie chicken, and Reject making a whole meal out of it. Zeph is able to get a couple of trades here and there, but it's only a little bit of a pressure valve. Like, they're alleviating some of the pressure, but not fully able to come out from underneath it as Finale looking to try and keep it on, tries to take out Zept, and will do just that. Yaki getting back into the fray, taking down Lick, and this is about as brutal as it gets. Finale still not being dealt with. HK Mario just trying to chomp hopelessly in so many different directions, but he is not getting any meals today. Rival Esports now down 75% and counting, and Reject are starting to come up on ultimates. It's only going to get more scary from here on out.
Yeah, it seems that it's a clash of terrifying moments here, and will be more right around the corner as Reject continue to solidify their position over the mission area. Looking to play a game of Portals, it would seem. The Zap attack here, almost shutting down a Zapped onto this one, but they will sustain through it. Rage of Ultron are coming out and won't give them any pains here. And we'll be able to force the issue there. Freedom Charge barging ahead. Yaki going down, though, is a good opportunity here. Piggy trying to match that Freedom Charge as well. So Reject do have a lot of ores to sustain through whatever RVL's bringing here. But I like how they're trying to take it to them right now. They needed the shift in focus, the shift in momentum, and it's working out for them at the last stretch.
Yeah, but they're playing so split. They're going to start to force resources out. We're going to have the Soul Resurgence on one side, a Dance Floor on the other. There's going to be that Feast of the Abyss going to take down Proxy, shutting that Soul Resurgence down. And now Rival has to just drain the ult bank, everything coming out, and they need to start finding some elims in order to make it worth their while. And so far, none have come through, but Yaki is going to let that double out. There's two big KOs now coming out, though, for Rival. They may be able to find the flip here, and indeed they do. They'll get themselves on the board, but Gargoyle is not done making himself a problem, taking down Lick again. Call that getting your licks in. Calling card now going to come out now from Finale and taking down Spocky. And just as quickly as it came, it will go back the way for Reject. As a portal play now going to come out from Proxies. Rival Esports want to try and hold on to this for dear life as best they can. No ults to speak of on either side, and at the very least still in the fight. But again, Lick is just left all alone, and Finale will be having that.
Yeah, they'll be having that every day of the week here, and Netra will be able to ground them, be seated as Netra and co defeat everybody in the Reject camp right now, and Netra locks it down for the triple. The ripple effect for RVL here. Portal coming up, though. Piggy does not want to allow them any further progression. They're scouting before they go for this one, and now it's time for the pursuit.
Now the adaptation of Rival Esports paying off, specifically Zeft on that Daredevil and Netra on that Captain America. They're able to be a 1-2 punch, but now Yaki in a bit of a devil's duel and will win that duel with Zeft. And again, Lick getting two split, trying to help out the team from an off angle, but Gargoyle finds him, takes him down, and Reject, they are frankly furious that Rival Esports have even managed to get this much percent. 63% is all they are going to allow, not a penny more, and that'll be Reject taking Imperial Institute of Science. And Rival Esports did manage to catch Reject off guard there and get a little bit going, but as soon as Reject realize they collect themselves, they snap back and they just take it.
Yeah, take it like it's their birthright there, and we'll be able to shut it down in the beginning. Will Rival be able to bring it back in this next portion, though? That's going to be the big test for them. I liked how they managed to take control of the mission area towards the end there. It showed that they did have at least a little bit of momentum behind them. They were able to collect themselves for a time, but just weren't able to prime up early enough to keep it close. See if they can deliver some kind of focus into the early stages on this one, though, because they can play around the Freedom Charge here. You know, they're closer to having more tools at their disposal, and if they can go first onto this one, really just burst past them, it will disengage Sunghun and Lastro from being able to have access to their ults here, sustain Reject through it. So RVL could have an opportunity here, especially being able to let the devil out soon, but we'll see who gets it.
I think having let the devil out and Freedom Charge is good enough for Rival Esports, but they have to play it very wisely, and they also have to be on the lookout for Gargoyle's Feast of the Abyss. Without a strategist ult, even with the anti-heal, like, you're just not going to be able to burst, you're not going to be able to live with all the burst damage that's going to come through there, so they really need to scout that out and not let him get a big chomp. We're going to go aggressive with the Freedom Charge and hope to try and force out a strategist ultimate, but Lastro doesn't even have one right now, so we're just trying to play around this Freedom Charge and get as much value as we can. Maybe we get an elim here, and Zeft will get that Righteous Cross onto Finale. It's a great way to open things up, and Rival Esports might even get the first cap here as they have two guys on the point right now capping, and indeed they will, and Reject are going to be happy to concede that one because they know they can take a more advantageous fight soon with that chop now coming out from Piggy, but Netra's still able to get Sunghun somehow, some way, and as the dance floor comes out from Lastro, Yaki can go on in and start to retort. Zeph wants to let the devil out, but it is a very lonely devil. This devil has no friends, no more teammates, and no more say in this fight, as Reject are only going to concede a scant 20% and maybe some change to Rival Esports before they take this point.
Yeah, well done from Rejects there. They adapt around the fight accordingly. Sure, RVL got a little bit of early momentum there, but they were able to shift that focus back in their direction. And now they've got the ult advantage that they need here. So can definitely look to stampede their way forward with the Devil Beast Rampage. Maybe even play around the Kumiho Unleashed. RVL, though, might actually be able to progress forward too, as they've now shot down Sunghun. That's a great start from them. Finale good on the trade as well, but Zeph is trying to go for the back cap here. I see what you're up to, buddy. Let's see if they can lock this one down as they try and work together to shut down Lastro. Full send on that strategist, and they are going down. More to follow in a second, though, but Finale still in play here. Spocky's going to try and match them with their own calling card.
With the 2 men down, Spocky taking down Gargoyle, and now catching Sunghoon off on the respawn. Not able to win that duel outright, as Piggy is there to deter this Black Cat from getting any more fearsome. And Rival Esports do find the flip, get themselves past 40%, and they are in control, and they get to hold on to Lick's Fateable Worlds going into this next fight. It's going to be the Fateable Worlds versus the Kumiho Unleashed, but not a whole lot else. You do have to keep an eye on Gargoyle's Feast of the Abyss, though, because he will build up to that one and go for an aggressive, and we know how aggressive he likes to be with this ultimate. If he manages to chomp down on proxies or catches anyone outside of that Fateable Worlds, or even the anti-heal just bursting through it, it is going to be a nightmare for Rival Esports, so they have to try and play around this carefully again. They're going to go aggressive with the Fateable Worlds, and they might be able to get Yaki, as Yaki is on a sliver of HP, and HK Mario is like a cat just like, or sorry, like a dog just barking up at a cat in a tree.
Wonder what they'll find up there. I'd have to call Groot on the case for that one. We'll see how it all goes, though, as HK Mario ready for whatever they're going to throw at them here. Taking a bit of damage for the whole squad. Will be the Freedom Charge to bring them right back up in order here. Zeph now looking to cause some disorder. They shut down Finale there, and they're not even done. Playing around, forcing the dance floor on into action, and it's going to be the Devil Beasts looking to rampage forward. A lick goes down, though, so could it be a bit of mortality being faced by RVL now? Not going to be able to sustain any further through it. May just have to concede to go next, as Gargoyle absolutely shreds them apart with a quad KO there, and they will lock it down right on the edge.
I think Rival Esports, like, even though it looks kind of shaky, they still played that pretty well, because they do kind of force Reject to feel a little bit more comfortable than they actually are, and Rival Esports are able to build up to 99% and force out that Fateable Worlds from Lastro at the tail end. So I think you'll take that going in with this next fight. You're going to have Zeph with Let the Devil out, and again, Sunghoon holding on to that Kumiho, the only defensive utility. In fact, one of the only utilities at all that Reject have. It's a ticking time bomb, though, as Yaki 86% to his own Let the Devil out. And Zeph has to try and take the initiative, but Lick has been dealt with, and Devil Beast Rampage now for HK Mario. They're doubling down on trying to find these elims, but they're just not coming through. Yaki in a duel with Spocky is going to clean him up, and Finale will take down proxies, and this is Reject coming ahead in this fight. And if you're Rival Esports at this point, you got to abandon all ships, just take the reset and go for one more fight as Reject take it to one fight territory.
Yeah, take it to one last opportunity here, and it's going to be between them and RVL to decide, will the map be coming to a close, or will RVL be bringing it to a third capture point here? We jump straight through the portal and get ready for the next phase of combat here. As the calling card comes out from Spocky there, they're already trying to lock it down in the back line, but they're cut off from their team's heals, so they're not going to be able to sustain through it. Lastro and Co. blasting on ahead here. Devil Beast Rampage, the last thing standing. Kumiho Unleashed keeps them in the fight for a second here, but RVL are just crumbling and will be stumbling over. Reject their opportunity, reject any form of recovery, and that's going to be map 1 in the bag, everybody. Reject on top.
Lastro is just too good, man. Lastro is just built different. Spocky goes in with that calling card, and Lastro takes the duel, says, you what, mate? I got you. Just takes him down with a little bit of primary fire and finds, I believe, a triple, might have been a quad towards the end of that one. A very well-deserved MVP for one of the best strategists in the game right now. Bro is cooking on a different level, and I mean, I gotta give credit to Rival Esports being able to take that one 99-99. Like, there's a world where maybe they end up winning that one outright, but it's all in that duel. Lastro getting that KO onto Spocky, shutting down that calling card before it became a problem, and Reject find the solution.
Yeah, they will be able to find the answer to the equation there, and off to a great start for themselves. But pressure's going to be on to RVL now to figure out what they can try and achieve into the second map in competition here. You know, do they take it towards the museum? Do they take it towards Lower Manhattan there? Or do they shift or focus entirely? Maybe look to go towards Araco for a change. I'd love to see it. I don't know if they will, though.
Yeah, I kind of feeling like, I don't know about you, but I'm already kind of contemplating the next map. I'm in my contemplation era, and I think they are too. It's just kind of what you do when you're a lower seeded team going up against a team like Reject. You try to go for like a comfort pick and hope to try and catch him out with what you are practiced, what you are good at. It's the same, like every hero shooter, it's the same where, you know, you just have like that one map where you practice it over and over again and you feel so comfortable on it. It's the one you're the most confident on, and you don't really have the ability to branch out too much. But I kind of feel like Rival Esports, if they want to get a map win against Reject, they need to try and find a way to branch out. They need to try and change the equation. They need to hit him with a curveball because, I mean, like I said, they got to get a map win. They got to give themselves some breathing room because that Loyalty versus N1 Hex game, their fate is no longer in their own hands. They got to get one here or there, and wherever that map win is going to come, it ain't that one. It ain't Burn It T'Challa. That one will not be yours. So yeah, what's it going to be?
Maybe it's map 2, you know? It's map 2 or nothing for RVL right now, and I mean, RVL need as many map victories as they want. Even if they don't get series victories, they just need stat padding right now in order to further their chances heading towards the end of the final day in contention here. By the end of today, you know, we lock in everybody for our pack playoffs. We've got the upper side kind of sitting comfortably, but it's the lower side, which is really worrisome for all of the teams involved.
I will say Reject do look quite comfortable, though, in that matchup. Even, you know, like, they're not even really at their full power. It's a pretty comfortable map victory for them. And, chat, I hope that you are quite comfortable because we're going to go to a quick break, and we'll be right back with map number 2 on the other side. Don't go anywhere.
Maximum pulse!
You made me angry! We are undefeatable!
Well, one map away, and Reject continues to pick up where they left off last night. Another win in the column for them. Not exactly what Rival was looking for, but did seem like they made some capture progress here and there on Burn It T'Challa.
Yeah, they managed to catch Reject off guard a couple of times. Like, it was not 100-0 on either one, and even a 99-0 on Stellar Spaceport. And I think, you know, if Rival Esports, like I said, if Spocky had won that duel with Lastro, you know, maybe you're able to just roll that momentum on through to a sub-map win, take it to the third point, and maybe you catch Reject off guard again, because, you know, I hate to say they look complacent, but they look a little bit complacent. They're not really being tested right here, and Rival Esports are showing them that you do need to take us at least somewhat seriously.
Yeah, I mean, really, it's all about finishing strong here tonight. And of course, for Rival, like we talked about, you know, they need to pick up some map wins here. Really need to try and turn to the tables. They're going to take us to Old Reliable in Convoy here. It is Yggdrasil Path. Matsy, all of us had quite the visceral reaction here to this one. But yeah, kind of a surprise welcome back here.
Yeah, it's the classic. You know, we're going back to the Taylor's oldest time on Yggdrasil Path right now, and I love it. I can't wait to see what these teams can do on this one. You know, maybe this is Rival's last hope onto this, and hey, take hold of it. If this is where you feel comfortable, full send it.
I think against a less flexible team, this might be a really smart choice because, you know, Reject showed a dive composition on Burn It T'Challa, and dive is just not as strong on Yggdrasil. It's a lot more front to back favored. So if you manage to get yourself another triple strategist lineup like you could in the pick and ban phase, you're sitting totally pretty here on Yggdrasil Path. Problem, though, is that Reject are Reject, and they are by no means one-trick ponies.
No. They're not one-trick ponies at all. They're a really flexible team. You know, they can play around basically any role. And I mean, that's what makes or breaks a lot of teams at the top. You know, you think about Gen G at the top of OS. They can play basically anything, anyone on any role. And Reject, they're one and the same, you know. And now, we're going to see some of that flexibility put on Showcase into the ban draft right now as the Gambits are gone.
Yep. And there's going to be the double Dino Protect coming up from Rival Esports right away. If you're going to try and play front to back, you want to make sure you have one of the best anchor vanguards in the game at your disposal. I do also kind of like the Phoenix ban that comes out from Reject. One of the high points of a lot of these teams has just been the Phoenix play. You know, when it comes to kind of like the lower half, like the upper echelons, they have their hit scan players as well. But Phoenix, if left unchecked, can just run rampant, especially in a situation where you're not able to dive her because the map doesn't really allow for it. So both teams gonna snipe that one outright. And there's the Rocket Band coming out again, and Reject now have an opportunity to get that one-sided for the second time. And on a map like Yggdrasil, this time you might even need to use it.
100%. I think that it's really going to be a big difference maker for them in fights, having access to that CYA and not having to deal with a Phoenix, for example, to just absolutely shred it with an Ensong Inferno. It's open season, you know, you can power your team up to just decimate your opponents again. I mean, Reject, they took advantage of it before. They're going to do it again here. RVL, again, you know, just trying to put focus around the Mantis. I get it. You know, you can play around the damage amplification there, play around the speed boost. It's great, but Reject already showed that in this kind of composition out of the draft before, they were able to push ahead. And they're just looking to just bring out the exact same recipe all over again here.
Yeah, both teams coming out with the exact same recipe. It's literally one for one, the exact same ban draft that we saw on Burn It T'Challa. But kind of like I said, like, I feel like it works a little bit better for Yggdrasil than it does for Burn It T'Challa. It's a lot less dive friendly, a lot more front to back favored. And, you know, Reject are privy to that. If, okay, you want to go for the protection of the Mantis, this is one map where you cannot let the Vibrant Vitality come out in full force. So a Loki ban there, I think, is really wise. And we'll see how Rival Esports end up wanting to play this. They're going to be first at bat on the attacking side, and they've got to set the bar. They've got to go for a full completion map, because you got to imagine when the sides flip, Reject are going to be steamrolling on through points A and B, and maybe we see a contest on point C, but you got to try and pump the brakes at some point.
I'll tell you what, I wish Reject's composition they showed at the start of this, not that the viewers could see, stayed as it was for the whole match. Unfortunately, we won't get to see my favorite hero, Hawkeye. Not today, but maybe another day. Maybe when he gets changed, if he gets changed. I'd love to see that. But for now, we are getting into the map, everybody. Last row going to be bringing it out strong on the Loki, and definitely eager to see many of the unique angles. They'll be looking to place some of their doppelgangers onto this one. I love that Finale is bringing out the Elsa as well here. You know, it's a lot of open space. You can take advantage of the Glotch Rocks really, really well here. So, keen to see how it all plays out, as they're already dishing out a ton of damage from a distance. And I like how Yaki is just scouting here, making sure that they can keep every angle covered, just in case RVL try and slip behind them here.
I do also appreciate the Loki rocket backline that comes out from Reject. Like, once upon a time, that would be a troll pick for a Loki, but so much value has been coming out from CYAs lately that, you know, having a second one doesn't hurt. And that one is going to hurt. I'll be res right back up, but Finale is going to be feeling that one. Good early KO from Netru, who's managed to claim the high ground with this Penny, and now Finale coming back with a vengeance. Oh, he's angry now. He is going to go in and take down Spocky, keep his backline nice and safe, as this card has already rounded the first corner here, but as it starts to get a little bit more up close and personal, that's when Finale is going to really start to shine with these up close shotgun shots. And Lastro going to get in there as well with a parting gift for HK Mario and a first successful defense for Reject.
Yeah, looking to just lock things down as quick as they can. Here, it's going to be the Yaki Show. Double flow with more to follow here. Finale getting the double-double. maybe looking to make it a triple if they lock this one down. They played very patient there, just looking to just take in the moment for a second. You know, gotta love it. Maybe they're on vacation with these KOs.
I mean, they definitely feel like they're on vacation. Like, this does not feel like Reject are really clocked into work today. They are out of office, and you know, you're dealing with their like automated email replies right now. It's about the tempo that they're playing with right now. Rival Esports, you know, they've taken so long now that there's going to be another BRB, so that early KO onto Finale really doesn't mean anything anymore. All right, you can find him again, doesn't matter. He'll be brought right back up. HK Mario is going in deep to try and find a little bit of pressure with the laser beams, but is already pressured back. Netra also trying to keep a hold of that high ground with the penny and create an angle for Spocky to go on in deep with the White Fox there from Proxies and maybe find a pinch onto somebody, but a big Angie dinosaur is not quite the dive target you're looking for.
No, you don't want to be between that one, otherwise you might get stuck in the teeth there, but Feast of the Abyss is going to be the first thing out. RVL adapt around it accordingly. Just calm on this one. Got a Mischief coming out as well. Can bring the CYA into play if they choose to. Not going to abuse that just yet, though. Yaki, lightning lick there, looking for more around the back as well, forcing RVL as far back as they possibly can onto this one. They will succeed, get the double, and are going to force the issue. Now, a minute and a half to spare on this. Reject, they got plenty of ults to play with. RVL, almost the same. It could be last fight territory if this one drags out.
And they've already made some swaps. Netra giving up on the Penny Parker, which, you know, I didn't hate, but it kind of felt more like concepts of a plan, not really a fully fleshed out one, and it wasn't being executed properly. So over onto the Captain America, I think is going to give him a little bit more breathing room, especially if this breaks down and goes into overtime, because then, you know, by then he'll probably have the Freedom Charge, give Rival Esports maybe a second opportunity, a little bit more breathing room. We'll see. Oh, what a breathing shot there. Spocky getting caught out again by Finale. This guy just cannot get access to the backline because Finale has stuffed him out every single time, and now Rival Esports, with less than a minute, have to take this next fight either down a man or wait for him to come back, and they are going to choose the former.
Yeah, and it's great they can take advantage of the vision afforded from Yaki there as well. You know, playing around Claymore there, the vision. But Glatrock's going to be coming out right now. Yaki trying to shut them down. A lick now falls and are looking to follow up. It's Spocky out of town. Oh, they're not even done. Not even close to being done. Yaki is trying to shut down the White Fox there for Proxies. Desperately trying to clamor about, but it's going to be the Yaki show all over again at KO City, and they are a full-time resident. Netra at least finds a KO back on the Gargoyle, so might be able to claw a path forward here, but I mean, they desperately need one with seconds to spare here. They've got a Freedom Charge to try and barge in, CB, but that's all they really got going right now.
And two big Vanguard ultimates coming out from Reject before long. Piggy's got the Rampage, and Gargoyle's gonna have Beast the Abyss. Piggy's gonna already let that Rampage rip, and Netra, some assembly required for these particular Avengers, but Finale is in the interest of disassembling this entire team composition right now with one shot into the backline onto Lick, and now there is nothing that can possibly stand in Gargoyle's way as he runs rough shot over the rest of Rival Esports. It's traded out again, but it's just not enough. They need to find something. They need to find something final, and not just Finale, because he will be back before long. And Yaki is going in there, just raking right through, taking down Netra. And as it all starts to break down, a poor play from Lick to give Rival Esports just a little bit more of an opportunity, but Reject are taking that opportunity away from them. A God of Mischief now coming out from Lastro, a token ultimate that doesn't even matter because Rival Esports just don't have the manpower to keep this cart rolling, and only 57 meters to their name, and Reject have a pretty low bar to clear.
Yeah, I think it feels like they only have to do one push-up to get past this one, you know? It's that kind of vibe right now, but RVL, you know, we've seen them bring out some high sustainability compositions before. I feel like they could just try and afford themselves maybe a triple under this. Maybe they go a whole other direction. Looks like Lick is actually going to be playing onto the Jeff. We have seen Lick bring out some great Jeff play into the past there. So curious to see if it's going to work out for them this time. Love how Zeft is hovering the Mr. Fantastic as well. It could be the time to get bouncy, you know, bring out that Brainiac bounce. And Spocky bringing out Old Faithful there. Haven't seen much magic play from Spocky since they were on Xavier Hope with Navoy in the past. So great to see that they're still bringing out Old Faithful there on that melee-based duelist. And they're playing around the team up with Proxies as well on the Strange.
I mean, I don't know that I would necessarily call this a strategy, though. This, to me, feels like Rival Esports are just kind of throwing anything at the wall to see what sticks at this point. Like, they came into this knowing they weren't going to beat Reject. Like, it's Reject. No one else has managed to take a single map off of them, and you know, on this this map pick, only being able to get around that, like, first corner, that is a tall ass to try and hold them. So Reject also coming out with some shenanigans. Sunghoon over on the Iron Man. Somewhere Liger is, somewhere he is horizontal, and all right, the portal didn't exactly work out for Reject. I do like the, I do see the vision, although I prefer it if it was in portrait rather than landscape.
Yeah, I think they're going in a different format there, but maybe they'll get the aspect ratio right in the next one. Still, Sunghoon are going to be raining down hell from above there. Good on the Iron Man on this one. Curious to see if the Invincible Pulse Cannon will get full charge here, and they might find some impact off that. They're just raining down absolute chaos from above there. Gargoyle does go down, though. Yaki getting the shoddy action out as well. Those poor strategists not having any affordability of life there, and they will go down again.
Yeah, I don't know how you can just let Yaki go on a couple of zipline adventures into your backline and go for a flank shotgun Punisher. There might be an opportunity for a recontest here from Rival Esports. They do have a couple of members still alive, and there's an option to swap to the Doctor Strange. They're not taking it. Instead, Zeph gonna swap over onto the Spider-Man, and Spocky going in there, trying to get something done with that sword. Will cleave Yaki in twain, and gets a nice double, making a triple onto Gargoyle and Piggy as well, and Reject may have gotten a little bit too cute with this attack as Rival Esports bite back.
Yeah, bite back in a big way there. Great triple down coming at you from a Spocky and go there. Finale, though, is playing Duelist Luna in the back line, getting the KOs. Nobody's looking behind them, only front and center. Netra will be able to bite back, though, so well done on the Venom there. Gonna see if they can get anything else out of this. Rival are pretty close to a lot of ults as well, so if they want to sustain through this, they got options there. But what terrifies me the most out of this is Yaki getting close to a final judgment.
I mean, there's that, and you might also get your wish. Sunghoon is getting close to that pulse cannon. Zeph's gonna go in and try and stop it from coming out. Not today. He will be able to take him down, and I'm not sure where that Jeff ultimate from Lick. Oh, he got two! Lick got two, and Proxy is there for one as well. Lick does have to give his own life for that one, but that's another fight win for Rival Esports. What are we watching, Matt?
This is Rivals to the end of time, CB. We're going wild on it. Piggy has an in-step available in a second as well. I'm terrified of the explosiveness that's going to come from Reject in a second. Like, we know able to get something, surely.
We know Piggy's Jeff. He has said it carries, and it might be the carry that Reject needs right now. Here comes that pulse cannon. It gets blocked by HK Mario. What a block coming out, but the final judgment from Yaki may be the final death nail. Darkchild gonna come out from Spocky with a Feast of the Abyss, but it's just not enough to burst Yaki down as he just keeps putting in the hurt. Rival Esports, though, do have the Kumio unleashed, and that will keep them alive for the time being. But here comes that Jeff ult from Piggy, and the carry comes through as he carries Spocky and Proxies to a watery grave, and the Kraken impact from Gargoyle goes crazy, and that is going to be Reject, putting Rival Esports in the dirt where they belong after playing with their food for a good long while. It was a entertaining Yggdrasil, but Reject, they were done playing around by the end of it.
Yes, they locked back in towards the end of that endeavor there. You know, they got to play some creative heroes, but alas, they will be able to dial it in when it mattered. So, Yaki will be taking away the MVP onto that one. Well deserved, you know, they've done some really great work into this, and will be able to secure that victory. So, well done and well played from them and theirs onto that one. 12 finals for Yaki, as a matter of fact. So, goes to show they put in a lot of hard work there. And very, unique from RVL. I was very impressed with some of the heroes they tried to make work. You know, we saw a great triple from Spocky on the Magic there. So great to see Old Faithful could still get it done when they needed to.
That sure was one of the maps of all time, I gotta say. It was definitely a pleasure to get to watch that one all unfold. I hate to say for a moment Rival Esports gave me hope because I was like, surely not, right? Surely we're not so far off the goop that we're gonna win with a Magic Spider-Man lineup or Magic Mr. Fantastic, whatever other rhyming threats you want to come out here with. Reject are a dominant team. They still have yet to drop a map. They go flawless up against Rival Esports. They got one more series later on tonight to try and keep that golden group stage afloat and carry that momentum on into the playoffs. And for Rival Esports, whether or not they even get to show up to playoffs, it's not in their hands. The next series is going to decide their fate, and maybe there is a chance, but only if Loyalty do not win and only if they can get a map win up against Zero Tenacity. And I don't know how I feel about that about that particular prospect after seeing that map. Diatonic, how are you feeling?
Yeah, I mean, for Rival, this is the exact situation you never want to find yourself in a round robin, when your fate is essentially out of your hands and is all up to a completely different match, because, yeah, a lot of Rival's playoff hopes now gonna lie in the hands of match number 2 on the card tonight. That's Loyalty versus N1 Hex. But, you know, there were some moments of hope here, some bright spots for Rival Esports, and, you know, we saw a little bit of testing here and there, trying to push their limits where they could, but just not enough. And now Reject, they live up to the namesake yet again, rejecting everything but victory, and are now 2 maps away from a perfect run through this group stage. But of course, with Reject taking another win, we have an interview on hand with one member of the team. We've got Coach J-Mac on the line to tell us a little bit about this one and maybe give us a preview of what's in store for the match later tonight. Hi, J-Mac.
Hello, hi again. The player was too shy, so coach interview again.
No problem. I understand. How are you and the team feeling? How you guys feel?
I think this match after we correct first AST, yeah, in group stage. So yeah, very happy. Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
You as the coach, let me ask. We all know Piggy on Jeff. He's the carry. How did you coach him to be so good at Jeff?
I don't know. I don't want to he play Jeff more in the next game. Hey, don't say he Jeff, because he feel he's good. So yeah.
He got a 2K at the end. He's pretty good. He told us his Jeff is carry.
I don't think so.
I'd love to see it. And I guess, yeah, we saw some very interesting hero picks towards the end there. But why did you guys play Iron Man?
I think interview after I need to ask Sungun, because player, if they block defense in first point, yeah, they just say, okay, guys, let's go. It's our time. Yeah. And they just pick and they just play.
I love to hear it. They have a mind of their own. But you have one match left in the group stage against Triple AD later tonight. 2 maps away from a perfect group stage. How do you feel about the match against Triple AD? Any thoughts?
Just we don't think triple AD is hard, but we just keep focus last round and just don't clean finish. Yeah, finish clean. Yeah.
Yeah, finish strong, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Coach J-Mac, thank you so much. Maybe we'll hear from you again later tonight if your players are too shy to talk. But thank you so much for coming on and talking to us. Always a pleasure. And yeah, tell Piggy, play more Jeff.
Okay. Thank you.
See you.